We did Battle Royale Airsoft a while ago, and it was really popular. And I will tell you right now, that shoot was a total shit show.
What are the things that a kid or a group of kids would need to do to play PUBG Airsoft?
It was really, really funny. Having a gunfight with these two other people, and we shoot a guy and they go down behind cover, and you see them crawling away. And then we know that, like, we see their partner start running towards them behind cover. We're like, they're gonna res him, rush him. We start rushing, we come around the corner, and he's like resing him. We're like, and then we start like looting him, and then we get murdered while we're looting. It's like, oh, so classic. It's like such classic battlegrounds.
So maybe we're like, if you wanted to do your own Airsoft PUBG game, there's a couple tricky things to deal with.
We did Battle Royale Airsoft a while ago, and we're having all these issues. It's like, this is terrible. Like, edited the video together. Turns out it's an excellent video, and it's amazing. It's really like action-packed because there are so many people spread throughout the map. There's all these different stories going on, all these different moments. There's all these things you can pull from. So even though my individual gameplay wasn't the most exciting, because there's all these other people who are doing all their own things, cutting back and forth is like really exciting. I think we learned a lot from that. We did this mode, which is a little more exciting. We actually have to find the guns as opposed to having like a gun in the bag randomly.
So you don't start with a gun.
You
start with nothing. We all spread out. We had duos. We noticed that in the Battle Royale Airsoft, people tended to like meet someone and be like, hey, can I trust you? All right, let's work together. And like they would do this whole trader's truce thing where they're like, I promise I won't kill you as long as you help me win. So to eliminate that, we're just gonna do duos. So you have partners, you have interactions, communication, as opposed to you silently running around or hiding. Have that teamwork, which is cool. It is. Yeah. It's a co-op. It's 2-player co-op. If one of you get downed, you can crawl and you can get rezzed by your teammates, which I got rezzed multiple times, and I also rezzed a couple people multiple times. So it adds that whole element where like if you're down, you're not immediately out of the game. Your teammate can still come and get you.
In the game, you can get shot multiple times. Generally in Airsoft, it's one-shot kills. We did what we call wing ding rules. If you get wing, get hit in the arm or the leg, you get one more hit and then you're down. In the chest or the head, then you're instantly dead. If you're wearing armor, because you can pick up level 2 armor, that gave you one extra hit. Issues that started to rise from that is, first off, instinctively, when you get hit, you're like, oh, I'm hit! And then you have to like pause and like, wait, where did I get hit? Oh, I'm okay, actually. And then like you run away. Another person just shot you when, oh, they're hit, they're dead, and they left.
Also, when you wear the level 2 armor, it's kind of baggy on you, so when you get hit, you barely feel it. In the game, the guns are so accurate that it makes sense that it takes so many rounds to down a guy. But Airsoft, the guns are so inaccurate, and you have so many few rounds, and like your BBs are kind of like, especially outside, they're kind of going like everywhere. You can't expect to actually land that many hits at a distance. So I think like the 1-shot, 2-shot thing, it kind of like balances it a little bit. I think the wing ding rules worked well. We're just so not used to using those rules. Like it's been a really long time since we implemented those rules. It wasn't fresh in everyone's memories.
I fall down, I die. Like hit, and he's like, crawl! I'm like, what? Crawl! Like, oh, I'm not dead.
Yeah, like you're so. I had to do that like 3 times throughout the day. I was like, start crawling, you're not dead. But yeah, there's a lot of challenges. I feel the location is huge. You have to have somewhere big enough. Everyone can't just see each other at the beginning of the game. Buildings to put guns in, because guns technically aren't supposed to be laying out. They're supposed to be inside buildings.
What was the place called?
It's called Wildlands.
Wildlands Airsoft.
Pretty big park.
How big was the field that you guys played?
About half a mile by half a mile.
The biggest hurdle for filming Airsoft Battlegrounds is keeping the circle consistent and like actually implementing the circle properly. We ended up using a method where we just chopped off sections of the map. The map is really large, but there's all these separate sub-maps within it, little areas that are very specifically their own areas. Every once in a while, we just chop those out. It's very loose. So it's like people are in the dead zone, still fighting, hard to tell, and they're not answering the radio. That is probably the biggest issue, I think. Or like setting up and be like, oh, we have this much time, we should go now. We have to move into the circle now so we can like kill people as they're trying to run in.
But you don't have any barrier in real life to show you.
I honestly, having someone kind of DM the game, kind of like overrun the game, who's not playing, who's just like maybe like in a watchtower watching or just observing, having them kind of coordinate everything would be super helpful. What we did is we took a Google Earth image, we drew out the area. What we should do next time is actually have quadrants set up, text it to everybody who's playing the game so they have it on their phone, and then just have them look at it before the game so everyone gets familiar with the map. So even without looking at their phone, they kind of understand like, all right, this is the south side of the map, this is kind of the cutoff area. So at the end of the day, as long as everyone's just generally moving towards a final area, as long as they kind of know like, all right, you should kind of head towards this area, it'll work. And having everyone have radios is really important. I think it worked out pretty well. We learned a lot.
Looting is actually really fun. Spending a minute like unarmed and then you find a gun feels like you've just
That's
found
great.
treasure.
There's a lot of games where I started and I had such a classic loadout. I started and I ran and I found a 1911 and I was like, yes, pistol. I run over and I just find a shotgun. I'm like, okay, cool. And I grab the shotgun and I'm like, this is such a classic beginner Battlegrounds loadout. 1911 shotgun. It's really fun. The looting process it adds this whole other element and randomness to the game.
If you want to play your own Battlegrounds game, you're going to need a lot of guns. They don't have to be nice guns. You can get a bunch of springers, scatter them through the field, but you're going to need a lot of weapons. You're going to need some space to play it. But really, at the end of the day, you're going to need a group of friends who are willing to roleplay just a little bit. It's almost like a little bit like a D&D game.
Exactly. It's like half roleplay, half Airsoft.
Because if you want to play it really competitively, it's easy to cheat. It's easy to cheat. It's easy to like, oh, I'm in the boundary. I'm not in the boundary. If you get too caught up in the details, if you're gonna like get uptight about like your friend, like, oh, you stepped out of the boundary, you're dead. If you're gonna get caught up in that kind of stuff, you're not gonna have a good time. It's really more about laughing at the way the winds of fortune change, and you find a nice gun, you kill somebody else who has a knife, or something like that, and then you loot a body, then you get shot in the back while you're looting the body, and you want to be able to laugh at those moments.
As long as you're having fun, because you're just playing a video game in real life, pretty much. So all the stuff we've been talking about, the first episode came out today. So if you guys want to watch it, check out Node. It's a gaming channel where this guy's on it. I'm on it too.
Sam's on it also.
Sam's also on it too. We make cool Airsoft videos where we copy video games, and Battlegrounds are our favorite game, so it only makes sense that we played it. But I think the wait was worth it, so you guys should check it out.